One FFA member is taking the skills she's learned in class to the next level. Learn more about Kendall Scott's personal experience raising farm life later in the show. As the year winds down, finals are coming up quickly, and one performance task looks a bit different than others. Find out how American Sign Language is making music more accessible. With the 2020-2021 seasons for all of our Eagle athletes coming to a close, Katie De La Garza recaps the highlights of the year and expectations for the futures of these competitors.
Live from Studio 301 at Prosper High School, this is Eagle Nation News.
Good morning, Eagle Nation, and thank you for joining us. Today is Friday, May 14th. I'm Emily Baldwin.
And from 6 feet away, I'm Julia Bizayan.
The U.S. has been experiencing shortages of all kinds, the most recent being gas. Due to a cyber attack, the Colonial Pipeline was shut down, causing shortages of fuel for the East Coast and forcing gas prices to soar across the country. Although the pipeline is back up and running, officials said the effects of the shutdown will be felt for many days and are predicting that gas prices will reach their highest prices since 2014.
The Centers for Disease Control announced yesterday that fully vaccinated individuals have no need to continue wearing face coverings, both outdoors and indoors. One is considered, quote, fully vaccinated 2 weeks after his or her second dose of the Pfizer or Moderna shot and 2 weeks after the single Johnson & Johnson shot. As a reminder, this new guidance does not impact Prosper ISD's rules regarding face coverings for the remainder of the school year.
4 of Prosper's historic silos will be torn down in the coming weeks as Jerry Jones recently purchased the property on the west side of the train tracks and has plans to develop the land on which the silos currently sit. However, the other 3 silos will remain as historic town landmarks for the Prosper community.
This school year has been very different with COVID, but next year will be a bit more familiar. Madeline Wentz has more on why masks has been made optional for PISD next year.
It was announced last month that masks are going to be optional for the 2021-2022 school year. This decision was made after Governor Abbott made mask mandates up to businesses or facilities to implement themselves in early March.
I think what they've done is they've looked at the trends as far as the statistics for new cases and deaths and things such as that.
Daily cases and deaths are in decline as more people get their vaccinations. Experts believe that this downward trend will continue into the summer, but have the potential to spike again in winter.
If there's a massive spike this summer and we start going back to where we were last year, then I believe the school board will come back and say, well, we need to implement masks again.
Prosper students, parents, and staff currently have mixed feelings about the announcement. Many believe it is too early to make a call, but others are grateful for the planned change.
I appreciate their discernment and taking time to make this decision. You can wear a mask to school next year, or you can not wear a mask. It's your choice.
I'm Madeline Wentz, reporting for Eagle Nation News.
As the school year wraps up, there's less and less Prosper sports to talk about, but don't worry, we've got the pros to watch as well. Grace Escobel gives us everything we need to know in this week's edition of Game Time.
Thanks, Emily. On Saturday, junior Aubrey O'Connell competed for state in 3 distance events, becoming one of only 4 females since the UIL changed the rule to allow the athletes to compete in 3 distance events in 2017. O'Connell single-handedly scored 13 points for the Eagles and placed 5th in the 3200 and claimed the state title in the 800 meter with a time of 2 minutes and 8.64. Congratulations to O'Connell for securing the state championship. In the 800. Moving from the track to the dirt, baseball notched a 6A by-district series win over the Hebron Hawks over the weekend, walking away with a 10-2 win in the first game and a 10-1 win in the second, sending the boys to the second round of the playoffs against the Arlington Martin Warriors. The first game was last night and the Eagles fell 1-0. The boys will play the Warriors again tonight for a chance at redemption at 7:30 and with a win again tomorrow at 1 at the LD High School fields. Switching over to softball, last night the Lady Eagles became area champs after securing a 9-1 win over Irving Nimitz. The team continued the winning streak on Wednesday in a 3-1 win over Denton Geyer after senior Abby Beasley ended the game on a strikeout with 2 runners on, racking up 13 Ks for the night. Softball kept it going last night with a 6-2 win over Denton Geyer. In pro news, Russell Westbrook passed Oscar Robertson for the most career triple-doubles in NBA record held since 1962. Westbrook crunched the record in the Washington Wizards game at the Atlanta Hawks on Monday, recording 182 career triple-doubles, causing a celebration in the basketball world because the last time a milestone like an NBA all-time record was broken was a decade ago. The best way to describe this year's Prosper Athletics would be a roller coaster, with state championships there and here, mixed with deep playoff runs. Katie De La Garza has your recap on this school year's Prosper sports seasons.
This year, Prosper Sports has been one of the most entertaining yet, with multiple state champions, dominant teams, and future D1 athletes. The PHS football team made it 4 rounds deep in the state playoffs with notable players such as Keaton Nickerson, Mason Jolly, Jackson Berry, Cameron Harpole, and Aiden Ciano, moving on to play at the collegiate level. I can assure you that next year's folks will once again be to go 14 more days into the state playoffs. On the track and cross-country courses, Prosper saw one athlete continue to excel. Junior Aubrey O'Connell blazed past her competitors to notch a 4th place in the state cross-country meet and captured gold in the 800 meter at the State Track and Field Championship with a time of 2 minutes and 8.46 seconds. Moving to the mat, LJ Richardson showed out this season, advancing to the state championship tournament and dominating all of his opponents. LJ went to the final and ended his season as a Texas state champion. On the mound, baseball continues their dominance through this year's state playoffs. Now in round 2 facing Arlington Lamar, with our Eagles being top ranked all season, there should be no doubt that they can make it all the way this year and hoist up the trophy for the first time since 2015. Although Sports for Prosper isn't over just yet, it has been a very entertaining one to say the least. With deep playoff runs, winning records, and state champions, Prosper Athletic has seemingly unlimited potential for the years to come. It has been Caden De La Garza reporting for your Eagle Nation News.
When we return, learn more about one student's experience raising farm animals.
The process of raising a livestock animal is time-consuming and can often be very difficult. Sailor Jane McKenzie highlights one student who raised her own pig and how FFA at PHS has impacted her agricultural education.
Pursuing agriculture at a young age can be a difficult thing to do. However, PHS FFA students are constantly achieving excellence in competitions and working to raise their own livestock. Kendall Scott, a junior at PHS, recently placed 5th overall in a livestock competition. This was not Scott's first competition, but it was her first time entering a competition with a livestock animal she had raised on her own.
My pig specifically, well, at first we thought he was deaf. We did not think he could hear anything. And then after he grew up a little bit, the biggest struggle was just walking. But again, with practice, he ended up being a really good walker and he ended up doing very well.
Jordan Loving, the FFA teacher at Prosper High, has been Scott's instructor for the past 3 years and has seen tremendous growth in her from when she started in the FFA program to when she raised her own pig.
Kendall really took on a lot of responsibility. She was constantly up at the barn. I rarely went up there when she wasn't up there. She was working on something, she was helping with something, she was paying attention to what her animal was doing, which is always helpful.
I felt like I dedicated a lot of my time to it. I was up there for hours, and then on weekends, I was there getting everything organized at the barn, keeping it clean, that kind of stuff.
Scott plans to continue pursuing education in agriculture and hopes to raise another livestock animal in the future. Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Sailor Jane McKenzie.
Just a few weeks ago, Zach Manning reported that J-Lo had called off her engagement with former MLB star Aaron Rodriguez. But who is she spending time with now? Case Spears has the scoop.
Earlier this month, American actor and songwriter Jennifer Lopez was spotted with American filmmaker and actor and ex-fiancé Ben Affleck. This comes after Lopez and former baseball player Aaron Rodriguez called off their engagement last month. Rodriguez said that he is, quote, shocked by the news of J-Lo's recent budding romance with Affleck. In other news, on Wednesday, TV talk show and host and comedian Ellen DeGeneres announced that this season of Ellen will be the last, and it will end in 2022. The show recently faced scrutiny amid allegations of racism and intimidation in the workplace, of which the star said she was originally unaware. This is the 19th season of DeGeneres' daytime show, which has won 85 awards and received 117 nominations since it began in 2003. There are many intricacies to American Sign Language. Allison Wood showcases how the ASL2 classes are delving into this in their unique final project.
In lieu of final exams, some teachers opt for final projects known as performance tasks. For its performance task, the American Sign Languages 2 class is allowing students to work in pairs to sign some of their favorite songs. However, students are not only citing each lyric word for word, but are also looking more closely into the real meanings behind the songs in order to understand and correctly represent American Sign Language. ASL students have learned that when citing, it's important to keep in mind time, subject, and classifiers in order to most accurately represent ASL rather than Pidgin Sign English, known as PSE, which is more of a word-for-word translation of English but doesn't get the same meaning across. ASL is what is more commonly used among the deaf community. After each student has fully interpreted their lyrics, it's time to memorize and then record the ASL performance of the song. Each recorded performance will then be presented to the student's respective class. I'm Allison Wood, reporting for Eagle Nation News.
After this short break, Brady Anderson hit the hallways to discuss what students are doing this summer.
Summer break is only a week away and many students already have exciting plans. Brady Anderson found out what Prosper Eagles are looking forward to this summer.
I'm hanging out with my friends and we're going to Florida and we're going to Disney World.
I'm going to Colorado.
I'm going to multiple basketball tournaments.
Nothing really. I'm just gonna probably go to beach camp with my friends, but then after that, probably just gonna be working a bunch and making that bread.
I'm going to Disney World in Florida and I'm going to Universal Studios as well. I'm gonna hang out with my friends and I'm gonna go swimming in a pool and we're gonna have a great time.
A little falconeering. And although this is an eagle, it's technically called falconeering. And what I'm going to do is with my friend here, I'm going to teach him how to fly and land on my arm.
I'm going to be an active member of society and I'm going to participate in the contributions to the federal agencies.
Play beach volleyball and swim and probably work.
I'm just going to be chilling, hanging out with my friends, and I might work. I think I'm just going to do DoorDash.
I'm going to Houston, Texas to see my brother play baseball.
Seniors have 1 week until they walk the stage. Zach Manning is in studio with Student Body President Cole Kindiger to discuss his senior year and future plans.
Thanks, Emily. I'm your host, Zach Manning. Here with me today, I have Cole Kindiger. How are you today?
I'm super good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So, what have you enjoyed about being the Student Body President?
So, I've pretty much been in student council for my entire high school career. I was class president for 2 years, and now I'm student body president. And the whole culture of student council is just filled with really good people, and they're just always concerned with helping PHS. And I think that the work we've done over the past 4 years has been super fulfilling.
Yeah, you guys definitely do a lot of work. So what was your favorite part of being a senior?
My favorite part about being a senior was also my least favorite part. It's just being done. So at the same time that I'm super excited about going to college and getting on with my life, the relationships with friends, with teachers that I built here at Prosper, going away is going to be really tough.
Of course. So what are your plans after high school?
So I'm going to Georgetown University in DC, and I'm undeclared right now for my major, but I'm thinking about going something vaguely social science or political science, and I'm just gonna see where I go from there.
Awesome. Well, I hope you have lots of fun in college, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
A process many senior athletes experience in their final year of high school is recruitment. Myth or Comma spoke to football coach and former NFL player Coach Lemons to get insight into this process.
As Prosper's senior athletes move into preparing for competing at the collegiate level, a nerve-wracking and important process is recruitment.
It's a lot of fun and it's very rewarding when somebody at a higher level tells you that you're capable of playing for their program, and then you kind of get into a bidding war as far as we'll do this, we'll do that, you'll play here, you'll play there, and all that sort of thing.
For college athletes, recruitment is the process in which college coaches add prospective students to their rosters, potentially providing scholarships for athletes.
The biggest thing is colleges want to try to get a chance to get to know you, see what you are as a player, which they've already evaluated mostly on film. They want to know what your GPA is like. They want to know how many times you've been late to a meeting. They want to know how you are on the field, off the field. Are there any issues in the school building, family issues, and things like that?
After years of preparation, Coach Lemons, a former NFL player and current Prosper defensive line coach, is working towards fully enhancing students' capabilities and bringing his athletes within reach of Division I schools.
My job as a coach is try to take the knowledge that I have, or really all our jobs, is try to take the knowledge that we have and we've learned over all these years and our experiences as high school players, college players, and then myself being able to be in the NFL and learn from those other guys and those other coaches, see if I can simplify that to an extent and then put that into another kid's head. Our job is to get you in front of the colleges, promote you to the colleges, help get you to the level that you are physically able to perform at, and then allow them to make the decision on whether or not you fit their program.
For Eagle Nation News, I'm Mithra Kama.
That's all we have for you today, Eagle Nation. I'm Julia Bizayan.
And I'm Emily Baldwin. Thanks for tuning into our final show of the year and the final show ever for Julia and me as we are graduating next week.
While it is our last show, the rest of our crew will
see you next year.